Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic Less Known Classics. This is episode number 2665 in Doubleshot number 2559. First, we started with Justice League of America Silver Age Omnibus, but this is going to be the last skipping for this one. Well, first of which, basically, I'm not discussing issues 31 to 41, because the discussion is already in Justice League America Silver Age Volume 4. I am also skipping over issues, I think it was like 48, 50, I think it was 56, and 68. Skipping these three issues because reprints, and 60 skipping over because I discussed it already. Showcase Presents Batgirl Volume 1. As a matter of fact, my next Comic Corner will feature some skipping of that one as well, but there's a reason for that. 42 is basically Justice League trying to recruit Metamorpho for the Joint Justice League. And he turns him down and becomes the first of two people in this whole run who are asked to join Justice League, and they decline. Yep. That's about what it is. Now, of course, basically throughout these issues, we're getting toward the very end of Gardner Fox's time on the book. Yes. And we're exiting him, and we're entering the Denny O'Neil. Yes, Gardner Fox, who created this series, who created it back in 1950-something, I think it was. Let me check and see exactly when the heck he finished up here. Gardner Fox, who had been the writer since issue 1, he would leave with issue number 65. And you think, is that the end of this book? No, actually, this book goes straight to issue 76 for some reason. Yeah, I'm not sure why it stops at issue. By the way, the issue I was skipping over that one because that's a reprint. Yep, so in the case of 43, 43 is a debut of a group of people who did pop up in the Justice League TV show, the Royal Flush Gang. King, Queen, Ace, Jack, and... Now, Ace is Armis Fontaine, an old Gardner Fox villain. Everyone else is completely new. Yeah, they're basically a group of royal aristocrats who appear in 2 issues of this book. Yeah. Which, of course, right after the debut of this group in issue number 43, their next appearance would not be until issue number 54, which is basically the rematch. And here's the thing. After this one issue, the group is never seen again. And get this. Their next official appearance after these 2 issues is in Justice League America number 203. Yes. Which was released in 1982. 54 was released in 1960. Roughly almost 18 years later. Yes. Now, yes, they debut this group. They fight them. They lose. But, of course, basically, it is quite an interesting book. In the case of issue number 44, it's basically just can't fit in their costumes, so they get spare ones. Yeah, it's just kind of strange. We have this guy called the Imaginable. This creature who appears, this thing. He appears in this issue here, and he would actually return after his next appearance after this one issue. He would appear in issue 44. He actually previously appeared in 42. But after this, he's not seen again until the Superman America book 5 and 6, and he appeared out in the Valid book, and that was it for this creature. Oh, and Mike Zolsky does pretty much all the artwork in here. In 45, basically, they're just like fight the Shaggy Man. Well, the first 2. The original one appeared not as many times, basically 2 different Shaggy Men. Yeah, the first one after this debut issue, now returning into issue 104, to discuss already, and 106. The second one didn't appear as much as the original one did. No, After this issue, he, of course, never seen again until 186. And after that, his final appearance will be in Crisis Universe number 10. Yeah, it's a very interesting issue. Then found the Shaggy Man. Issue 46. It's the first of a two-part team-up between the Justice League and the JSA. Yes, it's another one of their annual team-ups. You're thinking, really? Yes, really. It is another one of the annual team-ups that they have. Yep. Yes. Yeah. It's a quick two-parter with Solomon Grundy and Blockbuster. Oh yeah, the new villain this storyline is known as the Anti-Modern the Man, who isn't one of those villains that doesn't appear very much. Who, after this two-part story, get this, he would not be sending it until DC Challenge, which was released about 20 years later. Appear here for a couple issues, then pop up in Countdown, and then he would not appear again until The Grant of Grant Morrison. His last known appearance being The Green Lantern Season 2, number 8. Yep. Very good. I always love team-ups between Justice League and the JSA. It's a quick two-parter, and that's it. 48 I mentioned is the reprint issue. Because the reprint, skipping it. In the case of 49, it's, well, Justice League versus the Felix Wallace and Demons. It's an okay issue. It's just like, okay. And then we have, I love this cover, basically, a bunch of Justice Leaguers shrunk down, take on, well, the Lord of Time. Yeah. It's another okay issue. Yeah, then we have a guest appearance by Satana, who's looking for her father. I think the storyline is the finale of a story arc of a Satana search. Yeah, this one's the conclusion. Starting Hawkeye number 4, and continuing Titancomics 336 as Retcon. The M19 Green Lantern Volume number 42, Titancomics 355, and includes here. Yep. Yeah, great to see Satana again. Yeah, a woman who later became a member of the Justice League America. In issue 52 is Justice League versus Robots. No, seriously, that's most of what this issue is. Like, okay, is Fox running out of ideas at this point? It's like, because of Silver Age. Oh yeah, let's have basically where in issue 6 where everybody's weapons go haywire for a whole issue, and then by the end of the issue, they basically go normal. I'm like, okay. Now 54, like I mentioned, return to the Royal Flush Gang. 55. This is another one of these two-part team-ups. This one features, get this, I believe this was the debut of the adult Robin. This was the Earth 2 Robin who in the story. Yeah, he had this weird thing. Let me show the cover for this one. And this is number 55. Yeah, this costume that Rob is wearing has become a hilarious bad costume. It is, simply put, the Batman costume. Like, the main suit just replace Batman's cape with Robin's cape and put an R and a bat. And that's your grown-up Robin. Yes, I have heard the reason why he did this, because he did not want to take the mantle of Batman. And this issue in particular is him joining the JSA for the first time. Yep, he joins the team. Yep. This, of course, is the original Earth 2 Robin, aka Dick Grayson. Yes, as in the very same guy who debuted in Titancomics 38. Now, we also debut a few villains. Gem Girl, Howard Chu, Money Master, and Smashing Sportsman. Yeah, these are like very minor villains. But yeah, I do love this two-part team that they have. And it's just pure awesomeness. This also, I think, was the first time they've all Green Arrow on these crossovers. 57 is a peace issue, or it also features Flash, Green Arrow, Hawkman. It's, okay. 58, reprint, which means to skip it. 59. We're going to love the cover of this one. Basically, Justice League are basically held down by and taking on this giant person, Contra. Yeah, it's interesting, but not all that really interesting. 60 I'm skipping over because basically this was collected in Showcase Presents Batgirl Volume 1, which I mentioned before. And then we have 61 Operation Jail of the Justice League, where we have various villains of this issue. We have Doc Destiny, the Penguin, Lex Luthor, Dr. Light, Tattoo Man, IQ, and Colorless Carly. Yeah, it's a very interesting idea of having the villains swap places with Justice League. Really cool book. I like this one. Issue number 62, like, oh, it's blackmail time with a bunch of one-shot villains. In 63 is like, oh, we have basically Superman being like, I'm the Justice League who's strongest one. Yeah, and it's mostly taking the freaking key, which basically destroys his weapon. The key weapon. Yeah, the key. Who actually just made his debut in issue 41. This actually was I believe this comic was his return. Yes, I believe so. I think this was actually his return. After this, you would not be seeing it until at this book, you would see until issue 110, which is running after that, and be 149. Very interesting story here. I love the key. Moving on to issue 64, which says debut of a brand new character who's still technically around this very day. What character is that? John Smith, aka the Red Tornado. I believe this was the issue where Danny O'Neill takes over. Actually, no, he doesn't. But yeah, debut of Red Tornado. Which I thought that was interesting. Yes, and it's the first Justice League book that technically not focuses on Justice League. Yeah, it focuses on the JSA. It's like, yeah, join a team. It's a quick standalone. It's quick. It's a quick. I think it's a two-parter. Yeah, actually, it's standalone. 65 is mostly basically dealing with Return of Doctor Tomorrow. 66, I believe. This one is basically like, am I running away from one-shot villains? 67, I believe, was a reprint issue. Yes, it's a reprint. In 68, it is just League versus a thing called The Never Was. Like, okay, I believe this was the period of time. I think that 60 was it 67? I think it was Gardner Fox's last issue. Let's see. So 65 was his last. 66 was his last issue. Now with 68, we have the start of Danny O'Neill's time of the book, and also Dick Dillon take over the artist. He do it to issue 50. He do it until issue 183. Do it for like quite a while. Yep. And then of course like Radio Charge Murder issue 69, and one of them quits the team. And then 70. Deals with the Creeper. I'm like, that's cool. The Creeper. Yep. And then 67 when they go into space. Taking Commander Ben Box. Yeah, he's just a one-shot alien warlord. Yeah, deal with the Martians. And of course, the reason... Oh, by the way, the reason why I want to quit this team, because this is the period of time where she's Diana Prince, whereas the white suit gets rid of her attire for a few years because Danny O'Neill. And 72 is like Hawkman apparently dies, but he comes back, no problem. Yeah, Red Channel is back in here somehow. In issue 73, it's another team with a JSA. A very weird one. Like a guy called Aquarius, who's only in just these 2 issues. And sadly, put at the end of this 2-parter, Larry Lance dies, and Black Canary joins the main Justice League team. Now, at this point, she was part of the GSA. Now, at this point in time, this was considered to be the original Black Canary, Diana Drake Lance. This was the original one. Yes, that wasn't until they retconned it. Yeah, they retconned the fact this was actually, well, her daughter, the more popular Green Arrow. Technically, it's made debut in 75. It is weird how they explain it. And 75 is basically, that's what I'm talking about here. Yeah, it's kind of one of the first appearance of the new Black Canary. Also, they use a motorcycle. It's like basically Daniel created this version, just be like be at home with the Earth 2, the Earth 1 group. Yeah, but great book. I'd say a few okay issues, but a lot of these issues are really. I would say the highlights of this book are the JSA, the team with the JSA, the debut of the Red Tornado, the Royal Flush Gang, the stuff of Black Canary, which is awesome. And our stuff here will continue over in Green Arrow. But great book. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Before we move on to the next book, let's get my final thoughts on Gardner Fox's time on the Justice League of America book. I thought he had a really good time on the book. I mean, he had a few okay issues towards the very end of the book, but the book was actually really good a lot of the time. This is the guy who started this book. And this is the same guy who also created the JSA, Hawkman, a lot of really other characters you may not know of. I mean, he created Hawkman, Jay Garrick. I believe he created like all members of the JSA. It was a really cool idea to bring him to create the Justice League. Well, a really cool book. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Okay, so before I talk about the very next book, basically what happened right after Black Canary's debut, 76 was another reprint issue. And then the very next issue, 77, apparently this issue started the Bronze Age for this book. And it's a 2-part story where Snappercar inadvertently brings a guy called John Doe into the Secret Sanctuary. He defeats the Justice League, though they end up beating him, and John Doe was revealed to be the Joker. Yes, the Joker. Who would not appear again after this for 4 years until he popped up in that classic Batman 251. That would be his very next appearance, 4 years later. I'm like, so that starts the Bronze Age, not ends the Bronze Age? I thought that was real. I think that 2-parter should have been the one ending the Silver Age, because Also, with that two-parter, that wrote off Snapakara of the series for 20 years. Yes, because we're in the Bronze Age now, and also, the very next issue afterwards, we have the Justice League going to space with debut of the satellite, which will be base operations until pretty much toward the last couple years of the book. So, yeah, now we get some more cool stuff that I love about this book. I move beyond the Silver Age stuff, but I do like some of the Silver Age stuff. I would say the coolest thing about the Silver Age stuff, here are some highlights you can definitely say about that you love. That one thing really cool about the Silver Age Justice League America. I would definitely say that the Brave and Bold issue is definitely important to read, along with basically the first issue of the series, with the debut of Despero. Kanjuro, the recurring cosmic villain who's usually in Green Lantern or Adam Strange, made his debut in issue 3. This book also debuted Felix. So that's like basically like really like kind of somewhat known villains we don't know nowadays. Dr. Destiny show up in this book too. But the biggest highlight of this book throughout this one, and you can do this in the Bronze Age too, is the team ups with the JSA. And this only happened because of Flash 122. The very issue where Barry Allen met Jay Garrick first time. Also because of his crossovers, we had a brief revival of the JSA in the 70s, with All-Star Comics being brought back, containing the same numbering, and then wrap up the story in Adventure Comics, which sadly they had to kill off the Golden Age Batman by having him killed by some unknown thug. Not the Joker. Nope, not the Joker. But yeah, really good stuff here. I think Gardner Fox basically was definitely a good person to start the book off. And he did absolutely a great job in the book. And Denny O'Neil's an interesting choice. But I think probably the one thing you could definitely say was a big negative to his run is he wrote out Wonder Woman. Well, that's because of what happened in Wonder Woman's house, so basically around the book itself. But still enjoy the book overall. Yep. Alright, moving on to Teen Titans. Team Building. This collect issues of Teen Titans Volume 3, issues 88 to 92, along with Red Robin number 20 and Wonder Girl Volume number 1. Mostly put over the course of the issues themselves. It's basically like business as usual with the Teen Titans. By the way, this is basically when J.T. Kroll was the writer of the book. Yes, J.T. Kroll, who ended up being the final writer of this book for its relaunch in 2011. Yes. Now, here's a little fun fact about these issues. Did you know that I actually bought this storyline individually? Yes, I did. I actually own issues 88, I think it was like 90, I think it was. So I own the first 3 issues. I don't know where they are per se, but I did buy them at one point. Yes. So we started like a normal day in school. I think this is for... I gotta go Barney. He's here. We gotta go Mr. Carter. It's so more, and basically starts with everybody doing their own team, like fighting bad guys. And then like they'll go back to Titans Tower. Everything was going. It's like a typical day of the team, where and also where Bart is dating Ravager because he thinks that her eye patch is sexy. Yes, seriously. Superboy basically rekindling his relationship with Wonder Girl. Also, Batman appeared in this issue. Now, he's here with Damian. Now, you're thinking, Damian. This is basically like 2010, I think it is. Now, you're thinking, who's under the mask? Is it Bruce Wayne? No, it's Dick Grayson. Yeah, so Damian is dropped off with the Teen Titans. Yeah, and of course, Rose thinks that her mother's alive, but according to the computer, she's still dead. And then you have, looks like you have Cassie and Connor look like about doing anything to talk about Dr. Midnight. Yep. About various other stuff. And then, oh, his alarm goes off. And then Batman shows up to drop off Damian to join him becoming the Teen Titans. And he thinks he's here to lead the team. He really isn't. And sadly enough, he's not here very long. He joins issue 88 and leaves issue 92. You're thinking, really? He joins? He's only here for a few issues? Why is that? Well, because there's a reason for it. So, Dick basically offers a position team, which of course basically, like, he doesn't have much issue with it at all. Like, he doesn't think he's a punch like bench stuff. Not really, no. There's also this thing in this issue with the telekinetic they had to take care of. So Batman just drops something and they need a Robin, but he's not leader of the team. Cassie is. We have this brief fight scene between Damian and Rose. Two people who are offspring of two of the most well-respected martial artists in DC Universe. Damian is son of Batman, and Rose is the daughter of Deathstroke. Oh yeah, and of course Bart is Barry Allen's grandson. Yep. So, they agree to have him join the team. And of course, he doesn't exactly work with them well at first, but they do their own heroic stuff, per se, and then move on to issue number 90. Yes, issue 90, I'll get to that. So, looks like we have a thing here with, ISIS, I think it is. It's stuff with training and seems like typical stuff here. I think this book is still really good. And the book has a very interesting ending to it, per se. I think it was issue 91. It's like, oh yeah, also they have Damian and Rose taking on zombies. And 91 has a really cool cliffhanger. They got this cult. By the way, the issue's called After School Special. Yes. So, after these zombies, Rose gets a hit. And then, like, after the conversation with Cassie and Connor, this, of course, is Cassie and Mark. And then Damian is doing monitor duty. And then he gets a call from Red Robin. And he says, Drake? Damian, what are you doing there? It was Grace's idea. What happened to you? I need the Titans. And this continues over in Red Robin number 20. Yes, Red Robin number 20. Now, at first, the book, I believe, was written by Fabian Nicieza when the book started. I have technically, if you want to this issue already, series already, actually, Chris Yost wrote series originally. Fabian Nicieza took over afterwards. The one issue cover, I think it was issue 22, which is a couple issues after this. That was part of a story called Gotham Shall Be Judged. That's I have discussed already. And, I think I have discussed a couple issues already. I think it was also, besides that one, I discussed a couple of issues as part of a crossover with Backers years ago. Yes. So, yeah, Damian is dealing with... Tim Drake, as Red Robin, is dealing with Catman from Secret Six, who's gone nuts. He battles him for the entire issue. And then he contacts Teen Titans for help. They were happy with him, and then at the end of this issue, so by the very next issue, in issue 92, Damian quits the team. Yep, Damian quits the team in issue 92. Yep, after working together better with Red Robin with him, he quits. Now, the reason why he does this is because basically they have a Robin already. Red Robin. So, he thinks because Tim Drake is there, he's not needed. So he goes back to Gotham. Which, of course, basically continues over in Batman and Robin. Yep, but before we end this, we have to talk about one other book, and that being Wonder Girl. Volume 2, number 1. This issue is written by J.C. Crow. It's a standalone Cassie San Mark issue. It's basically casting out her mom a lot of the issue, and her trying to become a celebrity. Of course, hanging out with Solstice. I thought the storyline is actually really good. Yeah, and that's the only thing wrong with the issue itself. It's perfectly fine. But I love these issues for Teen Titans. And I'm going to give Teen Titans Team Building a 10 out of 10. Yes, I would basically discuss the next trade, but in the comic corner, but it's getting kind of late. Almost 1:30, so I'm in this here. So please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and do not hit that dislike button. So I'll see you tomorrow for another comic corner 2. Okay, next video. Bye.